we are here celebrating as part of our CBK at 50. But somebody actually was instrumental in making this happen. Of course, we have Professor who is our host today. We have Rose Ndetho, who is organizing this. But also, where is Gibson Minor? Where is he? Can he please stand up? So that's the hustler by excellence. Please, yeah. He happened to troll me on Twitter. Is that the word you use around here? And eventually suggested, kind of firmly, that it would be good to meet with youth. I then said, yes, we are going to do this, and then forgot about it. But with time, something was brought to me, and Governor, you agreed to do this, and here's the plan. That was Rose Ndetho. So once you're cornered like that, you have no choice. So here you are. Anyway, friends, colleagues, I'm very grateful to be here. And I don't think I would feel better in any other audience. I mean, in the last 1 year, I've done a lot of meetings, addresses before various people, including the Parliament. But frankly, those pale in comparison with this. This, to me, I'm much happier being in front of you. I'm much happier engaging with you, because there's a lot of hope in this room. There's a lot of potential in this room. We ask ourselves where we went wrong, and those are the older people. I don't want to use the word dinosaur, but you can use whatever word you want to use, you know. But we ask ourselves, where did we go wrong? Why is the country in this state? Why is the world the way it is? And I think those are not the questions we need to begin with you. I think the point here is there's a future, and that's what we want to grab. And I think that was the essence of why Gibson invited me to present some sort of general ideas. And I wouldn't want to say that these are the definitive answers to the questions, but for me, it's just, I'll just speak about some things, some lessons, some things that strike me. And you may agree, you may not agree, but I think somehow it will give you a sense of where we are coming from and maybe where you could be headed. To me, the issue of being a leader really looking back now, really began in the context of, say, my high school. I went to Mangu High School. You all know where it is, Thika. And the motto was very simple: Jishinde, Ushinde. Jishinde, Ushinde. So you really want to be a leader? All of you actually are leaders, but we'll come to that. If you really want to be a leader, you need to lead yourself. That's really the first point. In order to lead, you first have to lead yourself. So, and each one of us is a leader. None of us here are unleaders. You are a leader in some fashion, but definitely you are a leader to yourself. And if you really want to be a leader, lead yourself. And so, well, there are points here we need to make which relate to, for instance, leaders are very demanding with themselves. It's very easy to be a boss, and sort of tell everybody, do this, do the other. You begin with yourself. So are you demanding with yourself? How much am I in control of myself? And you could think of moments when you kind of, let's say, lose it. I don't know if you use that expression. So, for instance, you get angry and then you lose it. You get pushed by something else and then you lose it, not because you go around and fight with somebody, but you get very internally agitated because, the Matatu tout didn't give you your entire change, or it rained on you, or the car that was passing by splashed water on you, and you feel kind of down, very angry. Are you really in control of yourself? And do you really push yourself also on the positive side? Do you really push yourself? Meaning, it's interesting to think of people like the athletes, and you see the sort of things they do. But the most important thing for them is pushing themselves to a higher standard. And it means being in full control of yourself. Now, I think we can agree on the big things, okay? The big things. But what about the small things? Precisely in those very small things, that's where we need to begin pushing ourselves. I once listened to a speech by somebody to a group of young people who are graduating like yourselves, and he made the point that the number one thing that those young people need to do for the rest of their life, one of the most important things is to make their bed. So make your bed every single day. Now this is odd, right? I mean, you didn't come here to be told to make your bed, right? I think all of us make our bed, right? I'm not sure. I mean, the idea of just grabbing the thing, putting over the blanket, and then dashing, and then in the evening you come and find the bed is in the same state. That is a big issue. Make your bed correctly. It doesn't take 2 minutes, but it is really setting the bar. We just heard about how the bar has been set for activities here. You need to set the bar for yourself somewhere if you are to be a leader. Begin with those very simple things. And you do them on a daily basis, not just today. I make my bed on Mondays and Fridays, but not the rest of the day, not the rest of the week. I mean, it appears like a small thing, but you need to begin on those things and live with them forever. At times you think that the big dream job will come, right? So you're asking yourself, and actually I had, you ask yourself, well, I want the big job. When will I get? And so at the end of this, I'm sure I'm going to stand here. There will be thousands of you, or a lot of you, who will want to ask me a question or selfie or whatever. And one of the questions that I often get from people is, what can I do to get a job in the central bank? Or what can I do to get that big dream job? And you also dream that if you are really, if you are somewhere else or you're in another place, you'll be okay, whatever it is. Oh, rubbish. Buddha, get with it. No, these little things that you do, they are the ones that really matter. Begin with those little things. So again, coming back to this jishinde ushinde, until you can jishinde, you won't shinder, You won't shinder the world, you won't be a leader. The second one is an interesting one in that I wanted to explain the world we live in. Frankly, you are living in a world that is a little different from where it was 20 years ago. Okay, and I've told you 20 years ago, so much, in the last 20 years, so much has happened in Kenya, so much has happened in the world, and so you're going into a world that is really different from, say, the world that the professor was talking about a few minutes ago. Your world, maybe until for years it was who you know, which school you went to, who you are related to. Your world and the world we are now, that does not matter. It does not matter who you know. It does not matter who you are related to. It does not matter where you went to school. Oh yeah, I'm going to repeat that. It does not matter. What really matters is what you can add. What can you do? Meaning, what is it that you're actually bringing to the marketplace? What is it that you're bringing to the job that you're working at? That's what really matters. I think a lot of us think that the way to get opportunities and all that is to know particular people or to go to particular schools. All those things depreciate, they die. But what you bring stays with you, stays with the company. And that's really what, in the end, will dominate and will make you a leader. The age of average is over. So you're an average person. You know, you get things, but you're average. In effect, you're not pushing yourself. You know, that's gone. I was talking to somebody. A few months ago, I met with young people like yourselves. They're entrepreneurs. And I told them, actually, one of them makes business cards. So his hustle is to make business cards. You know, somewhere in, I don't know, Pan-Africa or some place like that. Young man, little place, artist. And I told him, listen, I can buy business cards from you today, right? I can send you a message or call you and say, I want business cards like this. Could you send me 1,000 of them? And within 2 days, I know he'll have done it. So that's him. But then I told him, listen, you know, you're not competing against the guy next door who is making business cards. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it's not another guy saying, because I'm sure there are other people in Nairobi that make these business cards. He is competing against young people around the world who make business cards. That's the competition. Because tomorrow, or even today, I can actually, right here while Professor is speaking, I can use my phone, order business cards from Sri Lanka. You know, another young man in Sri Lanka. And within 2 days, they'll be in my office. I'll have paid him via the internet or whatever else it is, just like that young man. So what is it that, why should I buy my business cards from the young man in Pan-Africa or Nairobi as opposed to the young man in Sri Lanka? That is really what the person making those business cards needs to think about. So the point is, if he's just saying I'm average because I'm better off or I'm more or less okay compared to my neighbors, he has lost. And he will not survive in the big bad world, which is the one that we are now in. So that is important. So the age of average is over. Actually, one of the reasons why we fail, meaning all of us, we may fail because, actually I'll point out to 2 reasons why we fail. The first one is waiting for the big one, you know, the big job, you know. So you want to wait for the perfect thing. And here is where the perfect shot. So I would ask you, you all know, I'm sure, this Messi, right? You know, he'll never get the perfect shot. And actually you see him hustling, to the goal. Actually, the one thing that I found interesting is he doesn't power into the goal, if you understand what I mean. He actually swiftly just goes into the goal, and then taps it and it's in. And he has really worked for it. I think the point here is that you'll never get the perfect shot. You'll never get that. Things will never align themselves. Only later will you see that that was a good opportunity. So you have to take the opportunities as they come. Don't sort of ignore opportunities as they come. Now, the issue for us, of course, is for the generation that is helping you, is to make sure that there are those opportunities. And you are getting those opportunities. I mean, for instance, the opportunity of you being here today. I mean, you can think of other thousands, millions of other young people that don't have this opportunity. Or the opportunity you have, I know KCB is working on the Tujiajiri program. And there are many others like this. I mean, those opportunities are important. They may not be, let's say, provide you a clear shot to becoming the perfect leader. But you know what? It is a solid foundation for that. So please don't wait for the perfect shot. The other area why at times we make a mistake in this big bad world is that we believe that talent is all that we need. and you sort of say, I don't have that much talent. And so you forget the other side of it. Talent is good, but what really you need to do is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. You know, well, in our language here, we talk about being a hustler, right? In the correct sense. So you are hustlers, okay? That's really what should characterize you. But yeah, now for those that are completely uninitiated, being a hustler is being an entrepreneur, right? That's what it is. The English is entrepreneur. So you generally say Steve Jobs was an entrepreneur, right? Actually, he was a hustler, like you. There's absolutely nothing different from him and you. Yeah, a few years later, or a few years ago, he created the iPhone and all these other things. But you know what? Just like you may not create the iPhone. Actually, don't, because it's already been created. There are many other things that you have the ingenuity to get at. I mean, you are true hustlers. So even as you think about leadership, you should think of yourself as a hustler, first and foremost, and hustling for the things I said about yourself and also about the people around you. But in terms of the job that you do, meaning there being a hustler, ask yourself, what do you bring to the job? What is it really that what is different about you and the job? There's a joke that is told of this person who was in, like you or me, working in a store, grocery store, at the, so being an attendant. And somebody came, and in that store they would sell cabbages by the whole, they would never cut it. So it would be the whole cabbage, or 2 or 3 of them. So this young man is there, or young lady is the attendant, and then this person comes and says, well, I want half a cabbage. I said, half a cabbage? We never sell half cabbages. He says, no, but I want half a cabbage, and that's what I want, not a full one. And the person became a bit aggressive. So the young man goes to the owner, at the back, and says, there's an idiot out here who wants half a cabbage. And then he turns around and he sees that the person, that customer, had actually followed him in, and he was just there behind him. And then he turns and says, and there's this gentleman who wants the other half. You get my point. So he was very quick in thinking. He realized that he'd been caught, that he kind of changed and sort of said, yeah, this gentleman wants the half, and the idiot is some other place, The point is there are many skills that you have which make you different. It may not be in the same way as maybe your teachers wanted you or as others want you to do and all that, but that you do have something special in you. It's not just a spark. There's something else that's special in you, and that's what you need to bring out. That's really a true hustler potential. So if there's anything you take away from this, is to really begin to appreciate what is the hustler potential that you have. What is different about you? And what is it? And again, it's not just, well, I like the color purple. That's what's different about me, I mean, it's not that. It's really related to the job. One of the things that I ask people when I interview them is, when things are bad, okay, we can use all sorts of expressions about things going bad. What do you do? What do you depend on when things are really bad? Mind you, I'm not asking whether you are good at math, or you're good at English, or you're good at all those things. I mean, those things we can fill up. You understand what I'm saying? If you are not good at math, you can always learn the math that's needed. If the job involves, computing, Or, now we are hiring interns in the CBK, and we have 6 places for interns. How many applications do you think we got? Maybe 60, maybe 600? Oh, no. 8,000. 8,000 for 6. And that's because all of you are part of that sort of see that this is something that you can work in. But in any event, it shows also that youth need or are dying for opportunities. And just like I said, they want to seize this opportunity. But my point is, when you interview people like that, it isn't so much the math and things like that. That minimum standard has been set already. But when you talk to them and interview them, the question, or at least when I do, my question is, when things are really bad, when you're under stress, what do you depend on? And some of us depend on being very organized, or being very thorough, or whatever it is, But it's something about us that is different, and you'll never get 2 answers that are the same if you ask two people, because we are so different. The problem at times is they don't know themselves, so you may have some issues there. But anyway, so ask yourself, what do you bring to the task? There is something really bad about somebody doing whatever it is and really looking, like a wet blanket. You think about, say you're, somebody, you go into a restaurant or whatever to buy chai or to drink chai, and the person who brings you the chai, it's clear by the way he or she looks, he would rather be somewhere else. Instead of say, whoa, this one has a really bad day, whatever it is, and that's the issue. You really need to do whatever it is, even if it is a very simple thing, shoe shining. Do it with pride. As a matter of fact, your own shoes, shine them with pride. Your own shirts, your own, you need to have that sort of self-respect and stick with that. Also do it, as I said, with extra effort. Now, push yourself, as I said, practice. And even those difficulties, when they come, they really are not, they shouldn't be a problem. They are not a problem. They should teach you some things. Yeah, for a little while, it looks like a difficulty is holding you back. But in the long run, that difficulty will help you. A big question for me, or for you, should be, what is your most important asset? The most important asset that you have is your reputation. So all of you actually were close to it. You were talking about something about yourself. But I would actually call it your reputation. Your reputation is who you really are. You can remove your clothes, you can remove your Panama account may be blown, your building may collapse. At the end of the day, your health, you may lose your health, but at the end of the day, who are you? Who really are you? And that's your most important asset, your reputation. Now, there is the core values, but I think also it's good to have a good mentor. So this is important. And, mentors, you don't go on a wall and there are, application for mentors and, you have the names and telephone numbers of those people. It doesn't work that way. You have good mentors in your, you have possibilities of mentors in your school, for instance, or in your various institutions, the Tujiajiri, whatever the institutions you are in. But again, it's not just, you need a mentor. Any mentor, is identical. No. You need a good mentor, and a mentor who will provide you with guidance to change, to strengthen your core values. Why is it important to get a mentor? The fundamental thing is that you often are blind to your own weaknesses. If you looked at a mirror, you wouldn't quite see your weaknesses. Or rather, you are unaware of your own weaknesses. For instance, there are those of us, just to give you one example, When I speak, I often say, you know, many times. If any of you have been counting, I've said you know like 1,000 times now. It's kind of it's a character trait. You know, when I speak, I just said it. And I don't notice it. And you didn't notice it until I told you. Now, if you count in the next 5 minutes how many you knows I'm going to say, there are like many of them, so much so that it will be kind of distracting. That's really what I'm talking about. There are many things that you are unaware about yourself, and you need others to point them out to you, and also to tell you how you can be stronger in your core values and so forth. You need to interact with diverse friends. I mentioned that. You need to get to know them. You should not set walls around you. I mean, this is the one thing that coming back to Kenya after 20 years, that's really shocked me. You know, that we have set walls around ourselves. You know, I have 5 friends and, you know, maybe we went to high school together, and those are the only ones that I consider my friends. And that's it. You know, I don't actually reach out to anybody outside that wall. And that's scary. I think the society will, you know, you could think of the cells in your body suddenly deciding to be themselves. You know, just, I don't know, the cells in your hand saying, no, okay, we are just going to stick by ourselves. Your hand will die because it needs everyone else. Everyone else. You need to believe in yourself. This is important. You need to believe in yourself. I know this is somewhat like cliche, believe in yourself. But I think the reason you need to believe in yourself is because you have certain core values that you have. There are certain positive elements that you have that others do not have. That's really why you need to believe in yourself. And you know, you didn't come into this planet just to become a vegetable. Oh, absolutely not. God put you here for a reason. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to appreciate that, yes, you will make progress. You will get there. Obviously, at times, we think we are believing in ourselves, but what we are doing is ignoring reality. So, you know, you end up, sorry to put it this way, but, you know, don't be an idiot that ignores information. You know, you understand what I mean? At times, it's clear that you're doing something wrong. And you expect that by saying something, I don't know, by doing it again and again and again, it will come out right. No. I think figure out why is it that is wrong. But believe in yourself. There's so much that you can do. Don't let people get into your head. This is important. You'll have people who will kind of push you around. Yeah, a lot. Actually, it's more problematic for women, as we all know, than for men. I think men tend to be much more boisterous and things like that. But I think all of us have the same problem. And I think don't let people get into your head. Create time to reflect. I would suggest 10 to 15 minutes every day to reflect on how things have gone in the day. You know, you gather a lot of, let's say, material, nonsense, or whatever it is in the course of the day. You know, all this being pushed around and all that. Well, you need quiet time, 10, 15 minutes, where you actually reset yourself. You know, you reset yourself and you sort of let go of those things. Frankly, if it were not for that, you could ask me, what is the most important thing I do every day? The most important thing isn't to meet with whoever. Oh, no. It is that quiet time. I have it every day. And without it, I can assure you I wouldn't be here. And it is expensive because, you know, you think that you want 15 minutes to do something else, right? Oh, no. It really helps. It really helps to kind of assess yourself, figure out, you know, again, going back to your core values and seeing how the things you did in the course of the day or the things you'll do in the course of the day reflect those core values, you know. So I think it is important to, and again, for me, it is something that is good for you to do every day. Finally, distinguish what is urgent from what is important. Now, this is something that looks like a simple distinction. when your boss tells you, you have to do this quickly, you have to finish it before whatever time, or your teacher, you have to finish this homework by wherever. So that suddenly that becomes the urgent thing, right? But at times you have ignored the very important things, which are, for instance, maybe there are people, there are things you have to do, to train in something like math or whatever else it is. And that takes time. And so when you get to the exam, you never quite get it. Why is it that people stay up late, 2 or 3 days before the exam, studying for the exam? If they had been working every single week for the term, things would be a lot easier. It wouldn't be so much studying, it would be more revising than anything else. So again, what is important, doing it, and distinguishing it from what is urgent. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Go forth, prosper, be all you can be. You will change the world. Thank you all.